Hare Krishna. I am feeling like Arjun must have felt in the beginning of the battle of Kurukshetra. I was preparing and I was collecting photos and I was ready. But when I am seeing so many senior devotees, I am feeling nervous. So please bless me. You are serving Srila Prabhupada, you are serving Guru Maharaj for so many years, more than my age. So I am not qualified to speak in front of such exalted devotees. But with your empowerment, I can speak. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum nandayati girim yad kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinataya. The power of blessings is even dumb person starts to speak. So I am just seeking for your blessings to glorify a pure devotee of Lord. We all aim to become devotees. We all have come to Krishna consciousness to become devotees. And therefore, to hear glories of devotees is more important for us than hearing the glories of Lord. How many of us want to become God? We don't want to become God, but we want to become devotee of Lord. We want to become devotee of Krishna. So hearing glories of Krishna's devotees is more relevant for us. And therefore, if we see Srila Prabhupada, he encouraged us to read first Bhagavad Gita, then Srimad Bhagavatam, and then Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And if you see the contents of these books, Bhagavad Gita deals with who is Krishna. Then Srimad Bhagavatam deals with what are Krishna's activities. But Chaitanya Charitamrita deals with how the devotees of Lord act, how the devotees of Lord interact with each other. What are the characteristics and qualities of his devotees? So much so that Krishna himself becomes a devotee, and that character is presented in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And that is considered to be the highest teaching of Gaudiya Parampara. Therefore, when we discuss these glories of pure devotees, we become inspired to follow that example. We become inspired that yes, if I also follow the path, then someday I can also receive grace of Lord, grace of Srila Prabhupada, and can come to that standard of pure devotee. Where should I put this? Such a beautiful garland. Who made this garland? Srila Prabhupada would say that the quality of garland displays the quality of devotees in the temple. It's a very beautiful garland. So therefore it's very important that we discuss the qualities of devotees, qualities of acharyas. So we were singing this song, Ei Bar Karuna Karo Vaishnava Gosai. This song is written by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. And he himself was such an exalted devotee. But in his maturity of Krishna consciousness, in his maturity of prema, he was writing these songs. And he is begging for the blessings of Vaishnavas. And he is comparing Vaishnavas with Ganga. That water of the Ganges, it can only purify when you take bath in that. But devotees are so glorious, just taking darshan of devotees one get purified. That is the glories of devotees. And why is that? Because devotees carry Krishna in their heart. Now we may say that everybody carry Krishna in their heart. What is big deal in that? Even a dog is having Krishna in his heart. But that Krishna is inactive. He is just a witness. Upadrishta Anumanta Cha Bharata Bhokta Maheshwara. But in the heart of devotee, Krishna becomes active. And how we can say that he is active? Because when we go near to that devotee, we become Krishna conscious. See, Krishna is all attractive. So, do we feel Krishna conscious while associating with a dog? Or while associating with a cow? A cow we can. Is clear to Krishna. But any animal or any non-devotee? Because Krishna is inactive in his heart. But when we come close to a pure devotee of Lord, Krishna is active in his heart. He is reciprocating with that devotee. And therefore, coming closer to that devotee, we become Krishna conscious. And therefore, Narottam Das Thakur is praying, Prati janme kari asha, charanera dhuli. Every birth, I am simply desiring that I get the dust of the lotus feet of Vaishnavas. Narottama kahe, Apnar boli, please accept me in your shelter. Apnar bali means, call me yours. See, we say that this is our Guru Maharaj. But that day is glorious when Guru Maharaj will say, this is my disciple. Narottam Das Thakur is praying for that. That Vaishnava Acharyas, please let me have that kind of mercy that you call me yours. That spiritual master feels pride that yes, this is my disciple. That is glory of a disciple. We can imagine how Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would feel for Srila Prabhupada. Yes, this is my disciple who took Krishna consciousness all over the world. We say, yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Krishna consciousness. Sankirtan movement was started by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srimad Bhagavatam was written by Vyasadeva for the deliverance of people of Kali Yuga. But if we really think, Srimad Bhagavatam was there for 5,000 years. How many devotees were made? In South Africa, how many devotees were there since 5,000 years? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started this movement 500 years ago. How many devotees were there? In India, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu propagated Krishna consciousness. But then after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, he departed from this world, again his teachings were lost. Only after Srila Prabhupada came, there was an explosion. Hare Krishna, explosion. Every town and village. That is the glory of a pure devotee. He even goes beyond the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He goes beyond the mercy of Vyasadeva. He goes beyond the mercy of Krishna. Therefore, we are the worshippers of Acharyas. Acharya Upasana. We are not worshippers of Krishna. We are worshippers of Acharyas. They are our deliverers. Sanatana Goswami told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Sanatana Goswami that Krishna will deliver you. And Sanatana Goswami replied, I don't know who is Krishna, but I know you. You have given me shelter. In the same way, we are so fortunate that Srila Prabhupada has given us shelter. And by the power of this Acharya, by power of his mercy, we can also practice Krishna consciousness in this age of Kali. Is it not a miracle? People ask that, can you show me miracle? We can tell every morning we see miracle. You know when? When we look at mirror, that is a miracle. That I am practicing Krishna consciousness. What can be greatest miracle than that? That is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So we are very fortunate to have such a parampara. Srila Prabhupada one time, he was in Vrindavan and he asked his devotees, what is the qualification of a bona fide spiritual master? So many devotees raised their hands. And Prabhupada asked the first devotee, okay, tell. So that devotee said, spiritual master should be self-controlled. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam. Prabhupada said, wrong. Half of the hands went down. They were the same answer. Prabhupada asked another devotee, okay, what is the qualification of a spiritual master? And he said, he can deliver the disciple. Prabhupada said, wrong. And again many hands went down. Another devotee, what is the qualification of a spiritual master? And he said, he takes away karma of his disciples. That's an attractive feature of a guru. Prabhupada said, wrong. What to answer? Nobody is correct. The devotees asked Prabhupada, you tell, what is the qualification of a spiritual master? Prabhupada said, qualification of a spiritual master is he is a good disciple. A good disciple can only make a good guru. And therefore Prabhupada used the word disciplic succession. It is the succession of disciples, not guru succession. Do we ever use this expression? Guru succession? No. It is succession of disciples, disciplic succession. Because a good disciple only becomes a good guru. So yes, we are fortunate to have a glorious spiritual master, and we are serving under him, and we are going to discuss about him. But what make Bhakti Charu Swami as Bhakti Charu Swami? He was solely dedicated to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Rupa Goswami gives that example, that a lusty person will always talk about lust. In the same way, Krishna conscious person will always speak about Krishna. And when we see Guru Maharaj, he would always speak about Prabhupada. That means what? He is Prabhupada conscious. That is a symptom of the best disciple. We don't have to do something new. When we do something new, that means we are out of parampara. Glory of parampara is to keep the message as it is. When we repeat the message, the empowerment comes when we repeat the words of the previous acharyas. That was Guru Maharaj. He imbibed that mood of Srila Prabhupada. Especially in the last days of Srila Prabhupada, when Srila Prabhupada was very soft, very kind. He was always kind, but to establish movement, he has to be strong sometimes. But in the last days, the way he received that love from Srila Prabhupada, that became his mood for life. And throughout his life, he distributed that love. He was so Prabhupada conscious. After he left this world, we were arranging his room, we were cleaning his room, and we found his diary. And we were curious to know what he writes in his diary. So there were so many things. But we found there was a series of entries Guru Maharaj was writing to Srila Prabhupada every day. And why he did that? Because that year he missed writing his Vyas Puja offering to Srila Prabhupada. So he decided that because I missed writing my offering to Srila Prabhupada, for next 1 year I will write every day to Srila Prabhupada what I am doing. That was his love for Srila Prabhupada. And every day he would report that today I did this. Not like our diary entries, I woke up at 8 o'clock, brushed my teeth. Not like this. But he was really mentioning the crisis our movement was going through and how he's dealing with it and what he wants to do and how he's seeking help and empowerment from Srila Prabhupada. That was his love. And he distributed that love throughout his life. Like father, like son. So what we will do today, I was just thinking what should I share with all devotees. I was reading Ramayana. And in Ramayana, in the beginning of the Ramayana, we know that story that Valmiki was, he sees that hunter killing those 2 birds and he became very much affected and he cursed that hunter. You know that pastime. So when he comes back, Lord Brahma instructs Valmiki to write Ramayana. And he meditates on the qualities of Lord Ram. So there are 16 qualities of Lord Ram are described. So I was just thinking that as Krishna's qualities are also displayed in his pure devotees, we can relate Guru Maharaj's pastimes with those 16 qualities. Actually, I was ordered by Hemanga Chaitanya Prabhu and other devotees that I have to speak here, then next is Lenesia, then Cape Town, then Phoenix, then Durban Temple. So we have 5 sessions. So I'll try that 16 qualities we can cover in these 5 sessions. So let's see how much we can cover today. Observing 16 qualities of Lord Ram in his pure devotee. And what is the good part of this? When we meditate on these qualities, we adopt those qualities. There is a beautiful pastime in Ramayana. Ravan was asking his ministers, what should I do to get Sita? I brought her to Lanka, but she is not willing to associate with me. What should I do? So ministers told that you force her. Ravan said, I cannot do that because I am cursed. I cannot force. So then they told that, okay, you give her, allurements. Like you will be the queen and you will enjoy Lanka and this and that. Ravan said, Sita left Ayodhya to be with Ram in forest. So what I can give her? That is also not possible. So then somebody says, you see, you are Mayavi. You can change your form. So you change your form and become Ram. And then you go in front of Sita. So when you will go in front of Sita, as Ram, naturally Sita will come to you. Ravan said, this is very good idea. So now in order to change his form, he has to meditate on that form. So Ravan closed his eyes and started to meditate on Lord Ram. As he started to meditate on Lord Ram, he got the realization that all women in this world are mothers. Then he said, no, I cannot do this. So even Ravan, just meditating on the qualities of Lord Ram, was getting purified. So if we just meditate on these qualities and in relation with the pure devotee of Lord, imagine how much we can fill our heart with these qualities. First quality of Lord Ram is, he is Gunavan. Gunavan means, the normal meaning of Gunavan is one who has so many qualities. But this Gunavan means whose qualities inspire others. Generally in this world, if you have some skills, if you have some qualities, generally people become envious. But when there are pure qualities, it inspires others. And that is Lord Ram. Let us see the similar qualities in Guru Maharaj. This is from Mayapur in 2017, the day of Nityananda Tiryodashi. And Guru Maharaj was GBC chairman that year. He was asked to lead the festival Kirtan after Sandhya Aarti at 7:30 p.m. And that was like the highlight of the program. All GBC members were there, sannyasis were there. It was a big program. So as punctual, he reached there at 7:25, not ISKCON standard time, but Indian standard time, 7:25 p.m. he reached. And he saw some Gurukul boys were leading Kirtan. And as he saw that they are leading Kirtan, Guru Maharaj decided that he will not disturb them. So he went and he offered Arati to Radha Madhav and he started to leave. Because he thought they are already leading Kirtan and he should not interrupt. But these boys heard that Bhakti Charu Maharaj already came. So they stopped their Kirtan and, left the mic for Guru Maharaj. Now, Guru Maharaj, as he heard that they prematurely stopped the Kirtan, he became very sad. Where are those boys? Search those boys. We were searching, they were already gone. And Guru Maharaj was feeling so bad. He wrote an apology letter. Can you imagine a GBC chairman writing to teenager boys from Gurukul? They were leading Kirtan and that too, his slot was there. But he was writing an apology letter. Please forgive me that because of me you had to end your Kirtan prematurely. So that was his kindness. So he was known for his Kirtan worldwide. It's not that everybody was waiting for his Kirtan. But those qualities endear others. They inspire others. That is his kindness. This is from Gurgaon, Delhi. Guru Maharaj went to Delhi and he was staying at one devotee's house. One army colonel came to see him. Anybody from army? Those who are from army, they have different kind of pride. I would say it's positive pride, but they have pride. So when he came and he was a colonel and he was retired, so he had that kind of attitude. He was speaking to Guru Maharaj and he was explaining how army functions. And Guru Maharaj was also taking interest. So he was asking, okay, what are the ranks and how... For 25 minutes this person was speaking. And we all were wondering why Guru Maharaj is listening to this person 25 minutes. And then Guru Maharaj At one point he mentioned that how there are also problem in army and you can also only stick to some standards if you have some high principles to follow. There where Guru Maharaj entered. Guru Maharaj said, yes, and those principles you can find in Bhagavad Gita. So you should read Bhagavad Gita. And that's how he started to preach. And later on, there was a beautiful realization which Guru Maharaj shared. Guru Maharaj said, later on when the person left, he said, preaching is an art where you have to paint Krishna in the heart of a person. So you have to be patient. So he was listening those 25 minutes, not because he had to join army, but because he was opening the heart of person to be receptive to receive Krishna consciousness. That is Gunavan. We are sometimes very quick to preach. 4 equity principles, 16 rounds, otherwise you are a demon. But we have to enter into the hearts of people, and that is an art. After Gurgaon, we were supposed to go to Vrindavan, and we packed our bags. And when Guru Maharaj came out of his room, he saw 8 bags, big bags, ready. Guru Maharaj said, why so many bags? So he asked devotees, whose bags? He said, Guru Maharaj, your secretary only prepared these your bags. Guru Maharaj said, do we need all these bags? Ask him. I said, Guru Maharaj, yes, we will need. We have so many things. So we carried 8 bags. So we drove from Delhi to Vrindavan. And as we were entering Vrindavan, Guru Maharaj was looking out his window and we were curious. First time I was traveling with him to Vrindavan. So I was also curious what will be his comments and what he will say. And, So he was looking at Vrindavan, we were entering, he crossed the Bhaktivedanta Dwar and just close to temple. And he said, first time I came to Vrindavan was with Srila Prabhupada. He remembered Srila Prabhupada. And then the car stopped, there was a grand reception. Guru Maharaj went to his accommodation. And then he asked, I want to take a shower. Did you bring my towels? I said, no, Guru Maharaj. And he was looking at those 8 bags. Anyway, he didn't say anything. He said, you can get some towels. Okay, we arranged. Then he sat for taking prasad. And he said, did you bring my cutlery? There was no cutlery. And then he went to take rest. He said, do you have my earplugs? There's no earplugs. And then after taking rest, or before, I'm not remembering the detail, but before or after, he was chanting for initiation. And when he would chant for initiation, then there used to be 2 bags, one purple bag and one white bag. Purple bag had beads which were not chanted. And then he would chant one mala and then put in white bag. That means chanted. So we had purple bags filled with unchanted beads. So he chanted one bead and he rang his bell. He said, do you have that white bag in which I keep my chanted beads? And I bit my tongue. I said, no. And then Guru Maharaj with force, he kept hand on my head and said, 8 bags. He was so tolerant. This is from Mumbai, this particular photo. And this is also very interesting. How for preaching Krishna consciousness, one has to be so tolerant. Guru Maharaj met one person on flight. And it so happened that actually in flight, we used to book window seat and aisle seat, thinking that nobody will book middle seat. And if ever somebody will come to sit on the middle seat, we can always request him to take aisle seat, which is better. So then the servant can sit on the middle seat and Guru Maharaj can sit in the window seat. But this particular person was so adamant. He said, no, I am going to sit in the middle seat. Guru Maharaj was on the window seat, I was on the aisle seat, and he was in the middle seat. He was so adamant. We requested him so many times that actually we are together and we have to do work together. And this, no, I have booked middle seat, I'll sit in the middle seat. Okay, he sat in the middle seat. After 15 minutes, he started to speak to Guru Maharaj. And by the end of the flight, he became fan of Guru Maharaj. He said, I have a home, I have my bungalow in the Malabar Hills in Mumbai. It's the most prestigious place in Mumbai. And I would like to host you. And Guru Maharaj said, okay, I'll come. And the next time when Guru Maharaj went to Mumbai, generally he would stay at Mirabai Mata's place, but he told Mirabai, I am going to stay at some friend's house. Mirabai Mata said, which friend, Guru Maharaj? You got in Mumbai? He said, I met him on the flight and he is requesting me to go. So anyway, we went to his place and Guru Maharaj stayed there. And now these people, they're very new. They know no idea what is a sannyasi, what is ISKCON, no idea. And they were serving Guru Maharaj. So in India, generally we push, in feeding, generally. And people who eat also, they also say, no, but they want to take. So the person, pushes and 2-3 times they go for, and then finally it's a ritual. But Guru Maharaj serving is not like that. So he took one idli, then he took one dosa, and the person's, actually his name was Mr. Maheshwari, so his wife came, and she pushed one extra dosa in Guru Maharaj's plate. And those who have served Guru Maharaj, they know if you do that, it's like, suicide actually. So she did that, and I could say Guru Maharaj is visibly upset. But Guru Maharaj didn't say anything to her. When she went back to kitchen, Guru Maharaj gave me that dosa and said, don't worry, they are learning, they will learn. We should tolerate. So he was tolerating. And then this Master Maheshwari, he was like debating with Guru Maharaj actually. He would ask a question, and then Guru Maharaj would answer, even start to answer, he would ask another question. And I was thinking how much Guru Maharaj is tolerating. But he was going through all that just to give them Krishna consciousness. That was his tolerance. This is from Mumbai. Another feature of Gunavan is one who mixes with everyone. This is another quality of Guru Maharaj. He can speak to the most scholarly sannyasis. He can speak to the temple presidents. He can encourage the youth. He can speak to the householders. He can encourage the brahmacharis. He can encourage children. And he can even encourage non-devotees. This is from US, Orlando, Walmart. Guru Maharaj would go for shopping himself for the farm, D-Land project. That was one of his favorite activities, to go on shopping. So he would go and he would select things. And whole staff in Walmart, in Lowe's, in Target, in all these places, they loved him. Because he would wear this white coat and he would enter with 5-6 devotees following him. They used to think that he is multi-billionaire. So they would all come near Guru Maharaj. And then Guru Maharaj would call them by name. Actually, they had their name on the uniform. Nobody cared to call them by name, but he would call each of them by their name. And they would become so impressed. They would do anything for him. He would make them do so many things. But can you put this in our car? And we would say, yes, we'll put in the car. They were not supposed to do all that, but they would do all this because Guru Maharaj was so affectionate. And eventually they started to ask many questions. They asked, Swami, why do you put this tilak? And then Guru Maharaj explaining significance of tilak. Why are you wearing this dress? Then Guru Maharaj would explain the significance of the dress. At one place, Guru Maharaj went to make one food truck. So this company, the name was A Fat Frog. That was the name of the company. So they build like RVs and food trucks, this kind of things. So Guru Maharaj built such a nice relationship with them. Guru Maharaj invited them to take lunch. And they were Muslims. They came to the farm to take lunch. And Guru Maharaj gave them such high-class treatment as if they were the president of America. Never they had that kind of treatment. Like at the entrance, Guru Maharaj kept chairs for them so that they can sit and take off their shoes. And when they come, there will be nice dining and there will be plates for each item. Like starter will come in a different plate, then that plate will go away. Then another plate will come with another item. Pizza will come, something else. There will be cutlery and so many. And how to fold the tissue and keep everything Guru Maharaj was arranging. So anyway, they had such a nice experience. They became so attached to Guru Maharaj that when Guru Maharaj left this world, they published the first documentary published on Guru Maharaj was not from ISKCON, from this Fat Frog company. They were so attached to Guru Maharaj. He mixes with everyone. His qualities attracted others. That is pure quality. Next is his sadhana. That is another feature which inspired devotees. This is the temple room of D-Land, and Guruma is attending Bhagavatam class. So our Bhagavatam class was 6 days Srila Prabhupada and Sunday Guru Maharaj. That was the Bhagavatam class schedule. So 6 days we all used to sit together and Guru Maharaj used to attend the class, and after class he would turn to the devotees and he would ask, okay, what did you learn? He share. Then devotees would share one point and Guru Maharaj would elaborate. And after some days he was staying in the farm and it was too much for him. So he shifted to some other place which was closer to the city because he had to meet many important people and farm was too far. Now he was staying in one place, Sanford, just to inspire devotees. He would travel every morning 1 hour, leaving from the Sanford house at 3:30 in the morning, and travel and reach just before Mangalarati, just to inspire everybody, so that the devotees don't feel left out. Actually, when we went to see the property, Guru Maharaj was showing us the property, and 2-3 of us were there, and Guru Maharaj went to some other place with the agent, and we were on our own. So we saw actually one of the devotees saw some green vegetable shack in the pond, and he became very excited. Bengalis, when they see shack, Bhakti Prakash Prabhu, they get some extra energy. So they were very happy. He was very happy. That, in America we found shack. And they were, discussing that. Rasananda Prabhu was there, they were discussing, they were laughing, and I was also laughing. At that moment, Guru Maharaj came. And Guru Maharaj asked, so what do you feel about the project? Now we were laughing on this shack episode. Guru Maharaj thought we were laughing on his question. And he became very upset. He went and sat in the car. Now we followed. Guru Maharaj was so angry. He said, I am giving you 3 days. Either quit or commit. If you want to commit to the project, let me know. If you don't want to commit, go back to India. 3 days. And then towards the whole journey, he was mentioning, what did I tell you when you were coming to this project? Rasanand Prabhu said, hardworking. Are you hardworking? This is how you will do in this project? Where you will get all these facilities? It's 45 minutes from the airport. The living facilities are already there. Dining is already there. Kitchen is already there. What they had in Vada, Govardhan Eco Village, they didn't have even place to stay. What they had in New Vrindavan, what they had in Ujjain. So you are expecting that in the beginning only you will get all facilities? He was very upset. Then suddenly his mood changed. And he said, don't think that I am going to dump you in that property and I will go away. I will also stay with you. And that was the reason he was participating in each activity. He would do Mangal Arati with us, Japa with us, class with us, Prasadam with us. There was no separate cooking. Whatever devotee is cooking, that Guru Maharaj used to do. And then even when he used to work in the field, I'll show you some photos, he used to stand with us all the time. Our attendance of Mangalarati was Guru Maharaj. He would stand in the middle of the temple room, and when the door would open, he would see who is coming late, who didn't come. He would notice every day. Yassa prasadad bhagavad prasado, yassa prasadad nagati kotobi. So if Guru Maharaj didn't notice you came to Mangalarati, that means nagati kotobi. So when devotee didn't come particular day, and after Tulsi Arati, Guru Maharaj sat on Vyasasana. He said, Krishna consciousness is a serious business. Where is Rishabhananda? And we were looking at each other. Guru Maharaj didn't come. He's lazy. He should go back to India. He was so strict because he was establishing a new project and that needed proper sadhana. This is from Mayapur. Guru Maharaj had a very special ritual there every day. And not called ritual, but a ceremony. That Guru Maharaj would do Guru Puja for Srila Prabhupada in his room every day. And After doing Guru Puja, he would take his breakfast. I'm sure many of you know this, that even though Guru Maharaj would attend temple program, he has his own sweet morning program in his room. He chants his Gayatri, then he chants Sansar Davanal in his room, in his private space. Then he would chant Narshing Kavach, then Narshing prayers, then Tulsi Arti. Then he would select some prayers, like at one time he was chanting Queen Kunti's prayers, sometimes he was chanting Brahma Samhita, sometimes he was chanting different acharyas' prayers. And then he would chant first 17 shlokas of Chaitanya Charitamrita, which Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote. So he would do it every day without fail. So one day he did his Guru Puja, and then Vishnujan Prabhu, if you know, in Mayapur, he would serve Guru Maharaj. He has a very humorous rasa with Guru Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj would chastise him for many things. So Guru Maharaj said, Vishnujan, how many years you are in ISKCON? Vishnujan Prabhu told Guru Maharaj, I am 20-25 years in ISKCON. In these 25 years, I never saw you reading Prabhupada books. He was astonished, because when you are serving Guru Maharaj, how you will read Prabhupada books? When Guru Maharaj is away, you are reading, but he could not debate with Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj said, from today, start reading Prabhupada books. And Guru Maharaj gave a time limit, I think 2 weeks or something. You have to complete Chaitanya Charitamrita in this many days. You can see Vishnujan Prabhu reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. He started reading that. It was a news in Mayapur that Vishnujan is reading Chaitanya Charitamrita in this many days. He wanted to inspire devotees that they become strongly attached to Srila Prabhupada, either by reading, either by service, by any means. One day in Mayapur only, he came out of his quarters and he saw many devotees there. It was a Bhagavatam class time, and many devotees were there. Some were making garlands, somebody was cooking, somebody was doing something, some were having some prasad. Guru Maharaj was so upset. He said, why you all are not in Bhagavatam class? They said, Guru Maharaj, we have this, we have that. Guru Maharaj said, I feel need to hear from my God brothers. Don't you feel need to hear from your God brothers? And he would do that. In Mayapur, either he would go down, and if he would not going down, that he would put in Mayapur TV live in his computer, and he would hear classes of his God brothers. It was very clear instruction. He said, don't you feel need of hearing of your God brothers? He wanted that. Then Kirtans is another wonderful feature of Guru Maharaj. In Ujjain also, every evening he would do Kirtan. In evening after Sandhya Arati, he would sit in front of Radha Madan Mohan and lead Kirtan for 1 hour. And devotees would dance with ecstasy. That was a feature of Guru Maharaj's visit. And then he would go, on that bridge, he would give garlands, and devotees would jump, and it was a very wonderful experience. So in D-Land one night, it was very late, and devotees used to chant at night in D-Land, because our service would start at 6 a.m. in the morning. So in Mangalarati, we have Tulsi Puja, everything, and then Guru Puja also we used to do the same time in Prabhupada's class, and 6 o'clock we go in the field, because it's easier to work during the morning hours. So devotees would chant either in afternoon after lunch or in night after 10 o'clock. So in night devotees were chanting. Guru Maharaj was also chanting. Guru Maharaj said, in Ujjain we do Kirtan. In D-Land also we should take Kirtan. Call all devotees. All devotees were in their dormitories, they were chanting this and that. Somebody was in gamcha, somebody was in lower t-shirt, this and that. So Guru Maharaj is calling, everybody ran, he came in temple room. Guru Maharaj started to lead Kirtan. But devotees had rounds pending, how they will chant their rounds. So while Guru Maharaj would sing, they would chant 2-3 mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And then when Guru Maharaj stopped, then they started to sing. That's how every evening Guru Maharaj would do Kirtan in late nights, and then devotees sang. So I don't know how, but Guru Maharaj understood something is happening. After 2-3 days, Guru Maharaj said, today I am not going to lead Kirtan. Today I will hear from all devotees, they will lead Kirtan for 5 minutes. And then he made all devotees to lead Kirtan for 5 minutes. He was so expert. But throughout the day also, he would be with us. It was a heavy work because we had to break things and build things. He was always there, standing and encouraging devotees. This is like such a heavy machine, and Guru Maharaj taught how to use it. When you break tiles, you use this machine, and it literally shakes the whole body when you use it. But when it came, Guru Maharaj taught devotees how to use it. We could not shoot that, but Guru Maharaj showed how to use this. Even chainsaw, we got chainsaw, and Guru Maharaj brought all these machines, and he was saying, I will teach you how to use chainsaw. Now, it's very risky machine because it goes so fast, and a little bit slip can cause injury. So we request, no Guru Maharaj, we will do, you can guide us. So Guru Maharaj says, okay, use it like this, switch it on, then start, and then you cutting, then you cut on the slant. So as cutting, Guru Maharaj was guiding. And then Guru Maharaj was happy that I learned to cut. The Guru Maharaj said, okay, every day 10 trees. Sure. You have to cut every day 10 trees because we had to clear the forest for construction and things. So I was so enthusiastic. I learned from Guru Maharaj how to cut trees. So I took that chainsaw and I selected a tree which was 30 feet high. And I started to cut. I remember Guru Maharaj told me cut slant, but I forgot which side. And I cut it towards me. And when it was just on the edge, like I cut it almost fully, I heard the cracking sound. The tree is going to fall on me. So I left chainsaw and ran. And the tree fell on the chainsaw and make it pop up. Now I was concerned how I'll tell Guru Maharaj. Because he brought this chainsaw. How will I tell him? He's very fearful. So I went to him with a lot of courage. I told Guru Maharaj, this happened. This is the chainsaw. I took the dead body of chainsaw. So Guru Maharaj. By looking at it, Guru Maharaj became so concerned. He put hands on my shoulder and said, are you okay? Anything happened to you? He was not concerned about that. He said, now no more. Devotees will not cut trees. We'll hire people. Nobody will do. Our devotees are more important. He was like that. This is, we were planting many mogra trees, and not mogra, actually many fruit trees and many rose plants and so many things. Guru Maharaj, every time he would go, he would bring adventure with him. One day he brought like 100 rose plants, and he said, today is Purnima. Moon nourishes the plants, so today only we will plant them. So it's a task because you have to dig 100 holes, and Guru Maharaj is not like you can plant anywhere. Exact precisely it should be in the row. The distance among the horizontally, vertically it should be same. It was a complete project in itself. So devotees were doing it, and Guru Maharaj is standing since morning. Towards the afternoon, one devotee went to Guru Maharaj and he said, Guru Maharaj, can I take some rest? I said, yeah, sure, you are working since morning, you should take rest. And he went to take rest. But Guru Maharaj was standing there. So another devotee commented, we were just chit-chatting, and he said, look, he was 30 and Guru Maharaj is 75. He needs rest, and how Guru Maharaj is telling, yes, you should take rest. But he himself is standing there since morning. And then what he would do, because it was summer, he would personally go in kitchen and prepare some buttermilk or lemon juice, and he would bring in a jug and a glass and a cup. And then he'd fill a cup and give to one devotee. He said, drink. Imagine, his spiritual master is giving, from his hands. And devotee would drink. Now Guru Maharaj would say, give that cup back to me. Will you give our cup, which we used, back to Guru Maharaj? He said, I am telling you, give me back. And he would take that cup back, go to another, because we were serving in different sections. So he would go to another devotee, fill that cup, okay, drink. Then he would fill it and go to third devotee. That was his service. He said, I can at least do this. When devotees were breaking wall for construction, one of my friend Krishna Mukunda Prabhu, he was doing that service. And he's very shy. He never speaks in front of Guru Maharaj. He used to be very shy. So Guru Maharaj came and he was going with a devotee, and he stopped by the outer house where they were working. And Guru Maharaj asked, so Krishna Mukunda, how service is going? Good, Guru Maharaj. He was so nervous. Good, Guru Maharaj. Nice, Guru Maharaj. So by when you will finish this work? By evening, Guru Maharaj, when you finish it. You see, I am going to market. I was thinking I can bring some ice cream for you. Which flavor you like? Choco chips, Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj started to laugh. Oh, you want choco chips? Okay, I'll bring choco chips for you. And he personally went and brought ice cream for him and fed him. That was his. Who will not like to serve under such a leadership? Leadership is not just someone commanding, you do this, you do that. But it has to be inspiration in whatever we do. So we planted the rose plants, and in morning we saw all roses are gone. What happened? In night, deer came and they had a nice feast. So Guru Maharaj said, no, we should fence it. So then we were fencing, and Guru Maharaj said, let me help you. He said, no, Guru Maharaj, it's a heavy work because you have to push the thing down and you have to hit it on the top. Guru Maharaj is helping personally. Can you imagine what is this? It's not an altar, it's a bathroom. Guru Maharaj said that in our Indian or Vedic culture, after we use the washroom, we should wash it, not using tissue paper. So Guru Maharaj wanted to install faucets in each bathroom. Now we got faucets, but we don't know how to install it. We were not plumbers. So Guru Maharaj is teaching how to install faucets. And is going in each bathroom and teaching how to install faucets. That is Gurvan. Should I go to the next quality? Yes. How much time we have? Yeah. So next quality is Viryavan. Viryavan means ability to lead. And this is the similar theme which we are discussing. He would be with us all the time. We went to a problem. We went into a very big problem in Midrand. Actually, one local devotee, a local person, he told us that you can cut trees. Whatever you want to do, it's your land. Guru Maharaj was not in the land that time. So devotees were so enthusiastic. They hired a person and he started to cut tree like anything. We cut over 1,000 trees without permission. And the same person who told us you can cut trees, he came and said, oh, you cut so many trees? Now you'll be in trouble. And he started to tell that the trees we have cut, some of the trees are oak trees, a special species of oak trees, which are endangered species in America. It's illegal to cut it. So you all are going behind bars. Now we were fearful what to do. We called Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj came. He was away. He was some other city. So he came and he saw. He said, we are in big trouble. So then we had nobody. Now same person we asked, okay, what we should do? He said, oh, now you have to hide these trees. 1,000 big trees. Where you will hide them? So devotees were having different ideas. So one lady joined that time temple. She was very new. Her name was Kara. She said, we will burn it. But if you burn 1,000 trees, it will create such a smoke, the county will come next day. You can't do that. So she said, no, we'll make a chimney and we'll divert the smoke and this and that. So she bought all kind of sheets and things. Whole night she worked with devotees. In morning she lit the fire. The thing only got burned. So we could not do it. Then what to do? He said, okay, we'll throw it in the lake. But if we throw in the lake, the wood will float. So, and the neighbors will see. So because the lake was also adjoining the other property, we can't do that. Okay, then we bury it. That was the solution. Okay, that idea we liked. So we'll bury. So devotees were digging, and they were creating big, kind of place where we can dump these woods. But these trees, you can imagine they were 20, 25 feet, 30 feet. How you can carry these trees? So now you have to cut it. The trees have to be cut in smaller pieces and then they have to be carried and they have to be put in this. What a work. What a service. We used to start in the morning and Guru Maharaj would stand whole day. He would not take any rest, no meeting, full day he would be there. And why he would be there? He called us for a meeting, ISKCON. And he said, you know, I accept I have made mistake. Good thing about Guru Maharaj was, he was not that I am always right. He accepted his mistake. He said, I know I have done this mistake because I brought you all here and you were not aware of the laws of this country. Actually, we did ask Guru Maharaj, can we cut? And Guru Maharaj said, since he is telling you, cut. So Guru Maharaj said, I did mistake, but I am with you. Just like Yudhishthira Maharaj did mistake, but did Pandavas leave Yudhishthira Maharaj or Yudhishthira Maharaj left Pandavas? They were together. So we will handle it together. And if at all anybody is going to the jail, that will be me, not you. So if there will be any problem, if there will be any criminal case, I will go to jail, not you. Because he said, I am a sannyasi, I have nothing to lose. If I go to jail, I have nothing to lose. I will go to the jail. So that was his inspiration, he was working. And we used to go in the deep forest serving. So Guru Maharaj developed disease. In his whole body, he got this kind of rashes. This Guru Maharaj's rashes in whole body, and it was itching very badly. But Guru Maharaj tolerated. We told Guru Maharaj, you don't come because your skin is not, he was so tender. His skin is not accepting the forest. But Guru Maharaj said, no, it's important to be there. Now, to shift this wood logs was difficult, so we bought a tractor to shift. But none of us know how to drive tractor. So Guru Maharaj was teaching how to drive tractor. And not just one moment, he would sit through, like whole day, he would sit on the tractor. Okay, lift like this, okay, dump here, okay, put this gear, put this. He was always there with us. During that time, Guru Maharaj also gave me another service. He wanted to write a book, Pariprashnena, where he was himself giving some questions and then answers, which are frequently asked questions. So my service would start 1 hour before Mangalarti. I would go to Guru Maharaj's room. Guru Maharaj would give me dictation for 1 hour, and then he told me, see, you don't need to work in the field because you need to transcribe these and then edit. So you work in this service. And then I was also a servant, so I had to iron his clothes and do this and do that. So I was taking it easy, that I have my work, I don't need to go on the farm. But that particular day, Guru Maharaj told me that, I need hooks to put my mosquito net. There are so many mosquitoes. So you put these 4 hooks and then I can put mosquito net in the night. Guru Maharaj told me, and then Guru Maharaj went to the forest with the devotees and they were doing all this heavy work. And I was transcribing and editing and putting all things together. I finished my emails, the dictation which Guru Maharaj gave for the emails, ironed his clothes, everything I did. And then I realized it's already time for Guru Maharaj to come back, but I forget about those 4 hooks. So I will be in trouble because Guru Maharaj cannot sleep at night. So I searched for the hooks and I got the drilling machine. But I was not getting the proper nail which one to put. So one devotee was coming and I told him that, can you show me which nail to put? His name was Dulal Charan Prabhu. So he said, okay, this nail you use, it will be done. So I came, and now you can't do anything like that for Guru Maharaj. It has to be completely precise. All hooks should be on the same level in the room. They should be precisely in the same. So I was just measuring it with measuring tape and everything. And as I drilled, it messed up the carpet because everything fell on the carpet. So then I had to rush and get the vacuum cleaner. First time in my life I was doing drilling. So anyway, so I brought the vacuum cleaner and cleaned. All this drama took 2 hours. So finally I got the mosquito net set. Guru Maharaj came back. Guru Maharaj was so angry. His eyes were red, like completely shaking actually. He said, where were you? And the latest I did was mosquito net. So I said, Guru Maharaj is putting the mosquito net. I said, that Dulal did. Actually what happened, Dulal Charan also went late to the service. And Guru Maharaj asked, Dulal, where were you? He said, Guru Maharaj is putting mosquito net in your room. So Guru Maharaj asked, this service Dulal did. And he was saying, you did it? If you don't want to serve, go back to India. You're so lazy, you don't work at all, go back to India. We don't want you. And saying this, Guru Maharaj went in the washroom. I was devastated, what I should do. So I left the room and I came to the temple room. And I was sitting in front of Prabhupada, I started reading Lilamrit. What I'll do? I was sitting there. Now it was time for Guru Maharaj Prasad. So Guru Maharaj's cook Indresh Prabhu came. Guru Maharaj sat there for taking Prasad. Guru Maharaj said, "Where is Krishna Kishore? Call him." Because Guru Maharaj would hear Chaitanya Charitamrita while he would take Prasad every day. Every meal he would hear Chaitanya. If there are some devotees with him, that's okay. If he is alone, he would hear Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Guru Maharaj said, "Call him." Now Indresh Prabhu was searching, but he cannot imagine in night I am sitting in temple hall. He was searching in dormitories, in our ashram, everywhere, but he could not find. Finally, after some time, 15-20 minutes, he found me in temple hall. He said, "Guru Maharaj is calling you." And I am not going. I had already got enough mercy today. So he said, no, Guru Maharaj is calling. And he dragged me. He went. And Guru Maharaj was so serious. He didn't say anything. I said, "Read." I took the book, but I cannot speak because I was so terrified. He said, reading from Jai. I cannot say Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Guru Maharaj didn't comfort me. He said, "It's all right, you can leave." And I was all the more, terrified. So I went in my room, and I and Damodar Prasad, we used to share the room. So I was there. I shared with him what happened. He said, "Don't worry, it happens. Every day we get chastisement." I said, "No, today it was really heavy one." He said me that you go back and we don't need you. He said, rejected me. So anyway, we lied down, sleeping. At 2 o'clock in night, the bell rang. And I said, "Damodar, you go." Damodar said, "No, this is your bell. You have to go." So I'm not going. No, you have to go. He pushed me. So I went in Guru Maharaj's room. And Guru Maharaj was smiling. Guru Maharaj said, "Did you read my email?" I said, "No, Guru Maharaj." He said, "Read it." And I opened my email. Guru Maharaj sent me, "I am sorry. I chastised you. You know how much I value your services." It was because actually what happened when Mataji, whom we were depending a lot, she was doing our public relations and everything, she suddenly left. And Guru Maharaj was upset on that episode. Guru Maharaj said, "Because she left us in this middle of crisis and it all came on you, so don't mind." So personal. And even to that Mataji, next day, she was going. And she didn't even come to Guru Maharaj to tell that she was going. She decided, she told devotees that. Guru Maharaj went to her. And what Guru Maharaj asked? "How you are going?" She said, "Guru Maharaj, I booked a bus. I am going by bus." I said, "You could have told me, I could have booked a flight for you. You're still my daughter. Don't think that you're going away. That means our relationship has, severed." So that evening, that night, 2 o'clock, when Guru Maharaj told me read that email, after that he gave a very beautiful teaching. He said, it was not important that you come and cut trees. I know your background, you have not done this heavy services in your life. But in the time of crisis, it is important to be together. That is the teaching. That we are into a problem, and if we are together, it gives strength to other devotees. He said, what I am doing, I don't cut trees there, but because I stand there, other devotees feel inspired. So it's important to be together. So that was, another quality of Guru Maharaj. We had another wonderful experience when Guru Maharaj held GBC meetings in Ujjain. And he invited all his godbrothers, and he was so much giving. Like he was assigning rooms because he knew his godbrothers. Which godbrother can live in a comfortable situation, but which godbrother needs really nice space, which godbrother needs a whole apartment. So he was assigning them accordingly. And he gave his own apartment for the ministry meetings. And Guru Maharaj was staying in guest house, in a simple room. So he was doing all these services. And then he met Shivaram Maharaj, he had a long discussion. And we were waiting, we were standing a little far. After he finished his meeting, Guru Maharaj came. And on his own he said, what do you think the responsibility of Guru should be if a disciple doesn't listen to him? I was thinking, what did I do today? Guru Maharaj said, Should spiritual master neglect him? Or spiritual master should act as if nothing happened? What should he do? And I know if I will say anything that will be foolish. So I was silent. Guru said, don't worry, it's alright. But I could feel how much he's thinking. Somebody who is not listening to his spiritual master is thinking, how should I deal with this person? Because if I neglect him, his spiritual life is gone. So spiritual master acts in a way as if nothing happened, just to encourage that devotee. That is another aspect of this quality. True leadership, ability to lead. Another aspect I remember, another my foolishness. Guru Maharaj's tolerance was beyond imagination. How much he tolerated. It was time when Guru Maharaj was organizing different cultural events in America. And he formed a team, a really diverse team. He got Geeta Kirti Mataji from New Jersey for classical singing. Then he got from South Africa Kannad Narhari to play sitar. Then Guru Maharaj got Aishwarya Mataji from Dubai to dance, classical dance. Then he got, who else here? Thea from Italy to sing. He is like diverse team. And Guru Maharaj gave me responsibility now apply for their visas. And that time US visas were very tough. Now also it's tough. So we are applying the visas and it was and Guru Maharaj's follow-up is so pakka. Every 5 minutes he will ask, so what happened? So what happened? Sometimes he would give a task and I am with him and he's ringing bell and I am coming and attending. And after 15 minutes he said, what happened? I gave you this task 15 minutes ago. What happened? But I am with you, Guru Maharaj. How can I tell this? So anyway, he was following up and it was really tough. And then Guru Maharaj said, we'll not do in one city. We'll do in multiple cities. So we'll do in Miami, then we'll do in Orlando, and we'll do in New York. And you have to arrange this. I was not driving that time. So I had to depend on other devotees to drive. And I was new to America. My language problem also, because their accent I cannot understand. My accent they cannot understand. It's so many challenges. So I was writing down everything. I would tell them to write down and give me the quotations, how much they will give for the drinks, what they will charge for the hall, the sound system. We were exploring different options. So one day Guru Maharaj called and said, you went to that venue? I said, yes, Guru Maharaj. So how much they will charge for the drink? So I said, Guru Maharaj, let me check. And as I said, let me check, he became so angry. What kind of person you are? You cannot remember a simple detail that how much they will charge for a drink? So it was becoming heavier and heavier and heavier. I'm just giving you some examples. So it was becoming heavier and heavier and heavier. So finally these guests came and now Guru Maharaj wanted to treat them also to the perfection. Guru Maharaj said, can you cook? I said, Guru Maharaj, I can cook but not up to the mark. Guru Maharaj said, don't worry. He gave me a recipe of pesto pasta, that's another pastime. But he said, this pesto pasta you cook. So, okay. So Thea was supposed to come from Italy. So Guru Maharaj decided that she should be served Italian food. So pesto pasta. She arrived at 11 o'clock at night. I started cooking at 10:30. Guru Maharaj was already, he already went to take rest. Now because we were living in an area which was very isolated and also, in darkness, I was a kid, so I used to feel fearful also. So I went and I rushed. I picked up some basil leaves and rushed back. But by the time I came back, it was already time for her coming. So I just made the sauce and served her the sauce. Now she took the prasad. Next morning she didn't show up. Guru Maharaj said, what happened to her? She didn't come. Go and check her. So I went to check her. She got diarrhea. Now Guru Maharaj, how can I tell her to tell Guru Maharaj? Guru Maharaj, she got diarrhea. What prasad she took yesterday? I said, Guru Maharaj, pesto pasta. Who cooked it? Guru Maharaj, I cooked it. And you see his expertise. Did you wash basil leaves? I said, no, Guru Maharaj. Therefore she got diarrhea. There was another chastisement. So it was getting heavier and heavier and heavier. So anyway, we had Orlando program. We were expecting many people. Not many people turned up. Guru Maharaj had program. So finally there was New York program. And Guru Maharaj's expectations were increasing. Just one night before going to New York, Guru Maharaj said, Krishna Kishore, is it necessary for me to go to New York? Can you all just do the program? That was big pull to me, because I was getting chastised every moment for doing these programs to the perfection, and Guru Maharaj is only not coming to the program. What is the use of doing this program? So I was really fried. Guru Maharaj said, can you go? I said, yes, Guru Maharaj, but I was really fried. And I decided I'm not coming back. So I went to New York, and I'm just telling you the foolishness. Went to New York, we had the program, and Guru Maharaj called, how was the program? I said, Guru Maharaj, it was nice, the auditorium was full, everything good. And Guru Maharaj was okay, I sent some photos and pictures and everything. Next morning, I disappeared. I gave my phone, Guru Maharaj gave me his credit cards and things for making payments and things. I gave everything to the other devotees who were performing like Gita Kirtiman. I gave them everything. And I said, I have an emergency, I'm going. And I took a flight, came back to India, straight to my hometown, switched off my phone. I didn't tell Guru Maharaj anything. I just left. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, I didn't switch on my phone. After a few days, when I switched on my phone, first call I received was Guru Maharaj. I was so nervous what I will tell him. Because if you pick up his phone, what I'm going to answer him? Why did I go away? And I was feeling guilty because I went away. I never thought I'd leave Guru Maharaj's service. But that moment was too much for me to handle. So I thought I'll take some break. I'll again go. But now Guru Maharaj is calling. How will I handle him? How will I face him? So I missed his call. He again called. Then I picked up his phone. And you know what Guru Maharaj said? Guru Maharaj said, Krishna Kishore, I am going to give a seminar on Brahma Samhita. Can you prepare notes for me? He never asked me what happened. Even to the date he departed, he never mentioned that thing. Because he knew I was already feeling guilty. I said, yes, Guru Maharaj, I can prepare the notes. And he said, I am also coming back to India next week. Would you like to join me? I said, yes, Guru Maharaj, I will come. And that's how the service resumed. See the tolerance. He was having thousands of devotees waiting to serve him. It's not that, he cannot have another servant. But he understood that I needed that break. And he understood that if Guru Maharaj will ask me what happened, I will be embarrassed to answer. He never asked me what happened. Another time I ran away. It was another incident. So I'm just sharing my foolishness with you. It was in Calcutta, actually in Mayapur. And Guru Maharaj was supposed to give initiations. And in the last years of his manifested pastimes, he started giving certificates in the initiation. So the certificate had 4 negative principles, 16 downs, and the person's name will be written there. And Guru Maharaj would hand over them the certificates. And another certificate would be the 10 offenses. Braj Kumari Mataji designed that, both certificates. So Guru Maharaj would hand, and Guru Maharaj made us to print them in bulk. So we were in Ujjain and we were supposed to go to Mayapur. Guru Maharaj said, can you carry, I need to give 150 initiations in Mayapur. So carry 150 sets. That means 1 for 16 rounds and 4 active principles, another certificate for the 10 offenses. Now I was into so many other things packing for Guru Maharaj. We were just leaving Ujjain. So I told another devotee, Rasaraj Krishna, I told Rasaraj, can you pack 150 sets of these certificates? He packed. We reached Mayapur. Guru Maharaj gave a wonderful seminar in Bengali. 3,000 devotees attended his seminar. It was a super hit. After that, one night before initiation, Guru Maharaj said, okay, let us select the names. So Guru Maharaj selected names for all the candidates. And then he said, bring those certificates. So we brought just sample. So we brought one sample. Guru Maharaj said, yeah, very nice certificates. So we should write their names. Now who should write? It was already 10 o'clock in night. Who will write? Guru said, search who has nice handwriting. So 10 o'clock, and that to Bengali writing. Bengali writing. So 10 o'clock I went down and I was catching all brahmacharis. Please come, we have Mahaprasad waiting for you. We took everybody. And like 7-8 brahmacharis were there, and then Guru Maharaj took audition. Okay. Right. So they were writing their handwriting. This is not good, this is not. Finally he selected 2 devotees. He said, you have to write on all these certificates names of initiation candidates. Okay. So it already, by doing all this selection and everything, it was late. So it was already 11 o'clock. Guru Maharaj went to take rest. Now this devotee started to write. What happened? This Rasaraj brought 150 certificates, not sets. So we have 75 sets. And these devotees were writing, and they said, Prabhu, I think they are not sufficient. I said, no, then we counted 75 sets. What will we do now? And we are in Mayapur, not Johannesburg. We cannot do anything in Mayapur. Even a simple printout at 11 o'clock is unimaginable. And getting those certificates to be printed in that hard paper, we cannot do that in Mayapur. We have to get it from Calcutta. 11 o'clock, next morning is initiation. What do we do? I said, we will see in the morning. As Guru Maharaj will get up, I will go and I will tell Guru Maharaj this happened. And if you tell beforehand, Guru Maharaj will not be upset. Okay. Guru Maharaj got up very early, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I don't know when. But we were late because we were doing all this writing and things, so we got up at 5 o'clock. By the time he came and again went to rest. So I didn't get opportunity to speak to Guru Maharaj. So I was waiting. It was already 6 o'clock. Then we had to go to arrange for the initiation. So I left. I said, okay, I'll call Guru Maharaj and I'll speak to him. 6 o'clock I went to the place where initiation was. So we were making all candidates sit in rows according to their serial number and telling them, okay, you recite 10 offenses, Guru Maharaj will ask. And we were doing all this. At 7 o'clock, our Rasaraj Prabhu goes to Guru Maharaj. And being very honest, he tells Guru Maharaj, certificates are not enough. And Guru Maharaj became super angry. He called me. Where are you? I said, Guru Maharaj, I am arranging for initiation here. Guru Maharaj said, I am not coming to the initiation ceremony. What happened to the certificates? I said, Guru Maharaj, there is some problem. Some problem? Why didn't you tell me? Now I am not coming. I said, Guru Maharaj, all candidates are sitting. You give initiation, I am not coming. He became so upset. What to do? I was sitting by the steps. I don't know what to do. After 15-20 minutes, Guru Maharaj came. And I opened the door of his car. He never looked at me. He went straight. He sat on his seat. He gave initiation lecture. After initiation lecture, he was giving the beads. So I would sit next to him and give him beads. And then he would receive like this and give to the candidates. Now this particular time, he was not even looking at me. He was taking beads like this. I was giving in his hand. I was giving. So angry, so upset. Now came to the certificates. So when it came to the certificates, Guru Maharaj started to hand over certificates. And he mentioned on the mic that, we have a problem. You all will not get certificates. There is some problem. He was, was mentioning that. But while he was handing over the certificates, everybody got certificate. Guru Maharaj looked at me. What did you do? Then I explained, Guru Maharaj, see, we had 75 sets. So we have 150 certificates. So each one received one certificate from your hand. And the other one which they didn't receive, we already told in Calcutta, they are printing and bringing. By the time Yakya will finish, we will give them second certificate. Guru Maharaj is very happy. He said, he's so intelligent, he became very happy. But I was already, into that chastisement thing, so I was not happy. So anyway, after initiation, Guru Maharaj went to his room. Guru Maharaj said, we are leaving in 1 hour. Pack everything. But Guru Maharaj was sitting in his darshan hall, meeting all devotees. How can I pack? Because I have to go inside in his room, bring things. So we jumped through the veranda. If you have seen Guru Maharaj Mayapur quarters, there is a secretary room. And that veranda is linked to Guru Maharaj's veranda. So I jumped from there and brought bags and do all circus. Finally we packed everything. Kept in his car. After 1 hour he said, so, you ready? Yes. What about luggage? Guru Maharaj is in the car. I was happy. Okay, Guru Maharaj went down And he sat in the car. Now, along with Guru Maharaj, there was his godbrother Udayananda Prabhu. And he respects Guru Maharaj like his spiritual master, almost. He has that much awe and reverence for Guru Maharaj. So he was supposed to travel with Guru Maharaj, and he came down. And just while sitting in the car, he said, Krishna Kishore, can you help me? I said, what happened? I left my bag in your Guru Maharaj's room. And if I go now, your Guru Maharaj will be very upset on me. The godbrother is telling. Said, can you save me? I said, okay. He sat and I went to fetch his bag. And Guru Maharaj said, where is Krishna Kishore? Where is he? At the last moment he goes away. I have to wait for him. You can't keep him waiting. This is like 12th offense. You can't keep him waiting. So I went up, I searched his bag and brought, and this Prabhu never mentioned to Guru Maharaj that he went away to take my bag because he would get that sauce. So he never mentioned. And I came back and he said, where were you? If you have to get, you can come in second car, other car. Why you have to travel with me? This and that. You don't value my time. And then Prabhu said, please don't mention my name. Okay. So Guru was sitting in the front seat. I sat in the back. Udayananda was next to me. We started. And because he was upset with me, because I was late, throughout the way, 3 hours, somehow or other I was getting chastisement. For all that I had done or not done in the past, I was being chastised. 3 hours of chastisement. And I was noting, and Guru Maharaj said, I told you to make website, what happened to it? And then I had no answer. I told you to do this, what happened to that? And I told you to do that, what happened to that? So lazy, this and that. He was telling what not, 3 hours. I cannot go anywhere from car. So just sitting. And Udayananda was telling me, what happened to you? Poor man. So anyway, we reached Calcutta. We kept Guru Maharaj's luggage. Guru Maharaj said to take dinner. And the devotees prepared noodles for him. Now they served Guru Maharaj noodles with a spoon. And Guru Maharaj looking at it and said, how should I take this? I was standing next to him. He said, where is my spoon? Where is my cutlery? And now I came with Guru Maharaj. And in Calcutta, Mayapur, Ujjain, Guru Maharaj has his own setup. We don't carry things there. Guru Maharaj has his own setup there, disciples there. So Guru Maharaj said, it's your responsibility to check everything. Why you are not taking care of this? That was it. I was already full and this was overflowing. So I offered my obeisances and I walked away. I went down the building and I went into the parking. And I was feeling very heavy. I was crying. I was in the parking. It was dark in the parking. And I was seeing that devotees are coming down. First Anand Mohan Prabhu came, then Navyagendra Prabhu came. There's so many devotees are coming and they were searching for me. But I was in a place which was dark. So they cannot see me, but I was able to see that they are going. But I was crying. Then I saw on my phone Guru Maharaj calling. He kept on calling. 2, 3, 4, 5 missed calls. I was not able to answer. I was so heavy. I was feeling so heavy. So finally, when I kind of composed myself, I went up. And when I went up, Guru Maharaj was walking, to and fro. He was walking. And I entered, I offered my obeisance. Where were you? Why did you go? He was like, a mother, telling his child, where were you? I was so worried, you are not answering my calls. I sent so many people. Where were you? Then, Guru Maharaj took me and he sat on a sofa and made me sit next to him. He put his hand on me. Where were you? What happened? Then I broke down. I was crying. He was said, I understand. It's not easy to be with me. Because I am under pressure and that pressure naturally falls on you. I am giving initiations, but then arrangements fall on you. So I can understand. So next few days, just take rest. Don't do anything. I understand. I was not speaking. This Guru Maharaj was only, he was understanding everything. He said, don't do anything. Just take rest. And then he said, you should take prasad. I said, no Guru Maharaj, I am not hungry. He said, no, you should take prasad. Then he fed me prasad, everything. So this was night. Now we had to leave for Amritsar that same night, 1 o'clock for Amritsar. Flight was at 4 o'clock. We were supposed to leave from accommodation at 1 o'clock. So Guru Maharaj woke up. I also got up. I packed Guru Maharaj's thing. I went to pack Guru Maharaj's thing, but Guru Maharaj himself packed already. So he said, okay, we carried luggage. We went to the airport. And quite a few devotees were traveling with us. Sobekshana Mataji, then Rasraj, Krishnarjan Prabhu, Udayananda Prabhu. So many devotees were traveling with Guru Maharaj. So generally what we used to do when we would check in, Guru Maharaj would sit with devotees. And we would be in line, scanning bags, then check-in counter and everything. In this particular time, I was on the queue to scan bags. In India, you have to scan bags first before you check in. So I was in the queue, and it was a long queue. Calcutta airport is always crowded. It was a long queue. I was in the line with luggage, and Guru Maharaj came next to me. I said, Guru Maharaj, I'll do it. No, I'm taking your association. So I said, I was feeling very embarrassed. Then Guru Maharaj said, now tell me what happened. Because the previous night I was not able to speak. So he said, now tell me what happened. So then I told Guru Maharaj, actually I'm not able to serve you properly. So many things are piling up, you gave me so many tasks. Because throughout the journey, Guru Maharaj told me, and that time I realized that so many things I was displeasing Guru Maharaj. So I told Guru Maharaj, so many things are piling up and I'm not able to serve you. Then Guru Maharaj said, I cannot deal with 20 people. But you can have 20 devotees supporting you. So learn the art of delegation. I tell you tasks, that doesn't mean you have to do all the thing. You take help of other devotees. I cannot call 20 devotees and give tasks to them. I am giving you the task. Get it done. So he taught me that. And finally we went to Amritsar. That whole day, Guru Maharaj didn't ring his bell. If he wanted water, he would go down, he would pick it himself and go back. He didn't ring his bell. So in the evening I went to Guru Maharaj and said, Guru Maharaj, you didn't ring bell. Guru Maharaj said, no, I know you need some rest. Therefore I was just giving you some time. I said, no, Guru Maharaj, when you call, that is happiness for us. When you don't call, then I feel bad. Then Guru Maharaj started to laugh and then service started. But how much he tolerated, that was extremely inspiring. So anyway, I took a lot of time. It was supposed to end at 3:30. It's already 4:15. We covered 2 qualities and rest 14 qualities in other places. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Srimad Bhakti Charu Swami Guru Maharaj ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Krishna. So, if anybody has to add something, they can. Anybody? Some realization, you want to share some quick memory of Guru Maharaj, something?
You spent the night in, you went to see in Malahar Hill, Mr. Maheshwari. Did you spend the night there? Or just
Yeah, we stayed one night there.
It must have been wonderful pastime in that night.
Should I share that pastime? That was a crisis pastime. And that is related to South Africa. Because next day Guru Maharaj is supposed to travel to South Africa. And I was traveling with him for the first time. And I was so dumb, so foolish. One night before, next day we have flight. One night before, when I went to give massage to Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj said, everything ready for tomorrow? I said, yes, Guru Maharaj. Everything packed? Yes, Guru Maharaj. Did you get your visa? I said, no, Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj woke up. He sat in his bed. He said, how are you going to travel with me without visa? And I was clueless. He said, Guru Maharaj, I was expecting you to. How it will come? You are in Mumbai, your visa is in Delhi. Even if it is issued, how you will get it? And there was no way I will get visa. Guru Maharaj was so upset. And Guru Maharaj called somebody in South Africa, I don't know whom he called. Anil Shukla. He called him. Guru Maharaj told that, can you arrange visa for him? Next morning I should get the visa. And he arranged. And then Guru Maharaj told one devotee in Delhi that you fly from Delhi, collect that visa, passport, and fly from Delhi to Mumbai and give his passport. So this devotee Shyam Bihari Prabhu went to the embassy in the morning, he collected the passport and he took a flight. He reached just few hours before the flight. I got my passport. And then, this funny part added to it. And then what happened? We packed everything. We are leaving for the airport. So we sat in car. Guru was sitting in the front, I was sitting in the back. We kept all luggage and everything. We left. We drove for 10 minutes and Guru said, "Can you give my bag back?" And I realized I left Guruma's handbag at home, which had his passport, his all documents, his purse, his bead bag, everything. See, he arranged my passport to go with him, and I left his passport behind. But because I was very new, he didn't chastise me. He said, "Okay, let's take the car back." I collected the thing, and then many series of events happened. But that was related to that night. Hare Krishna. So anyone, you want to add something, correct something? Any devotee? There will be prasad after this, so don't worry. Anyone? Anything you want to add? You want to share? You want to correct?
It was wonderful. We're looking forward to the other 4 series.
Rich. My experiences are very childish, and I'm not a very mature devotee. So when I was around Guru Maharaj, I just did mistakes. So all I have is childish memories. So please forgive me. I have nothing. You will not gain much with this discussion, but at least you can become happy that this happened. So please tolerate me. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Srimad Bhakti Charu Swami Guru Maharaj ki jai. South Africa Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Taigaur Premanande